Let's do this. Again, a little bit of delay, but everything's good. We got the StarCraft up right now. So the top left-hand side from XED Sports. Give it up if you're cheering on Reynor. Blue Zerg. Did just get to play a ZvP against Hearthstone on this map. Slight advantage there. As to the bottom right-hand side, our red Protoss player is puCK. So this is the second time we're seeing Cyber Forest today. Only a couple of maps are going to end up being played twice today. And later, there's only going to be one map that isn't played today, and that is Antigonus, I believe it's called. Antigonus, I'm so sorry you didn't get to play today. We will make sure to force Antigonus into some matches tomorrow, guys. We'll get there. We'll get some Antigonus action. If you're watching to see some Antigonus, again, unfortunately it happens every single tournament we run. It just doesn't quite work out beautifully or perfectly where we get to every single map every single day. You know, with giving the players the choice, it would happen if we were able to, just say, hey, players, you play on this map and this map. But we like to give the players some freedom, some choice here. It's also quite interesting to see which maps get viewed by which races in which matchups as well. Tomorrow we're going to have some Terran players, so I'm sure Antigonus might actually get a chance to make it through. In fact, some TVs. I think Antigonus is a real TVZ map, so that really could be a opportunity. So, yeah, looking forward to all that. Anyways, here on Cyber Forest, so we just saw this one, so not as much of a need to run around and give you guys a reminder, but it was a pretty cool game between Hearthstone and Reynor. I'm intrigued to see what puCK brings to the table, because puCK always does have some very interesting styles. Actually, the last time I had puCK in one of my tournaments, he played a really fun series against Keen, where he played this Disruptor game, and it was on Eastwatch, I think. Man, I just remember this game was awesome to watch, and puCK actually ended up taking down Keen, which at that point was a very impressive result for puCK. So, especially in the way he played the games and like his own style, and you could tell he was having fun with the game as well when he was playing it. It was really good to watch. It was really a pleasure. So great to have puCK back here today. puCK actually saved my ass a little bit because we had a player drop out last night from this group, and puCK actually preferred to play this group, so he actually stepped on in and took over, which is the reason we don't actually have any Terran players here in Group A, by the way, guys. I try to balance the groups as best as I can, but sometimes we just can't get all three races in based on when certain players can play and so on. So we will have some Terran players tomorrow. Sol and Uthermal taking part in Group B from 1 PM CEST. If you're wondering how long away that is, that's about 14.5 hours from now. So it's a little while away, but you guys can tune on in and catch even more StarCraft with us. It's going to be great. Probe will go down as we see the Stargate of puCK starting in the back of this main base. Third hatchery from Reynor will drop as well. So far, everything you'd expect to see out of a PVZ at the moment, right? I mean, Oracle on the way up. We're going to be seeing the third base getting established for the Zerg. It is everything you would expect this to be, I think, for the moment. So nothing too crazy, nothing ridiculous, as we do see this one Adept of puCK heading down toward the bottom right-hand side of the map. Robo facility of puCK starting up as well here in the natural expansion. So Robo coming through, and we will see both of these Adepts going to join up together now. So both of these just gathering up, and as the link speed finishes from Reynor, well, yeah, I mean, all good, right? Just going to be seeing this pylon of puCK as well getting set down. So puCK will throw this pylon down here. A couple of assimilators will be thrown down too, and we do see the Robo facility is again just finishing up very shortly. As we do see the follow-up different-ish. I guess it's not too fast a railway. It just feels like the Twilight usually comes down a bit sooner, but we're still going to get the general idea across as we do see the lair starting from Reynor. Now, we did see him going to pretty fast Hydras earlier, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a similar idea from Reynor once again. So, setting up toward this, we do have this Oracle starting to nibble its way through this egg and starting to work its way through this initial drone here. We'll see that drone cancelled. Nicely done. And this Oracle will continue off away to the right-hand side. Twilight Council will finish up in a moment or two in the main base. A few extra gateways being added on as well. Warp Prism on the way out of the robotics facility. So Warp Prism coming through. The single Phoenix from puCK heading towards the upper left-hand side. And as that heads towards the upper left, we do see a few Zerglings showing up now from Reynor, able to sit out on the right. So, again, obviously waiting to kind of watch the third base coming down, maybe try and catch a probe coming over. Temple Archives coming in as well. It's just going to be 4 gateways, so nothing too out of the ordinary. Nothing too aggressive, I think, most importantly. We've seen a lot of 6-gate kind of charge lots or Archon players today. We've seen a lot of 7, 8 gates now and again here as well. So nice just to see the 4 games. Phoenix trying to go for the overlord, but doesn't quite get there. And the Phoenix does go down. So Phoenix falls. Things moving forwards. Oh man, finds the warp in High Templar. Not the end of the world actually, because he doesn't get a kill, but it's annoying because he can't morph him into an Archon while Lings are underneath, because they could pick up a kill. He's going to come over here, and if he morphs the Archon instantly, he should be alright. And this year's he will still lose a little bit of shields to this. In fact, he loses a lot of shields. That Archon nearly died. It's very frustrating, but he will now be able to push those Lings away as the second Archon also shows up. Just going to answer this question, which is asked a lot in chat at the moment, guys. These maps are not guaranteed to go onto the ladder, but they are maps which Blizzard will then look at quite heavily in terms of, you know, maybe putting into future ladder map pools. So they actually just announced the ladder map pool for the next season of WCS and so on. But these maps will probably be looking to be introduced at the end of the year, into the new year, and the new season of WCS. So, yes, they will. Some of them will make the ladder, almost definitely. Will they make the ladder in the next 3 or 4 months? Maybe not. But that generally is the turnaround time on these 2-3 months. Then they hit it into the map pool and they go from there. Couple Zealots shut down here as this Zealot just gets swiping away. Roach Speed is finishing up right now as well as the Archons drop down. They're going to try and go after this Spore Crawler nice and quickly here. And then get a good amount of damage, bringing it down to half health. A lot more Roaches of Reynor heading over to the right-hand side. Ravagers gathering up too. So Reynor's going to get aggressive into this third base of puCK. Now, we talked about the possibility of him going fast Hydrogen. He actually just went for a pretty fast Roach Speed, and that's a cancel. Okay, he does get the cancel. I was worried that was going to be a straight-up kill there for a moment. Corrosive Bowels. Oh, hits the Oracle. It's a shame because the Oracle probably could have gotten rid of these Ravagers. Now Roaches are going to brute force their way through the front, and they're going to get rid of one Immortal very quickly. Corrosive Bowels on 2 pylons here, powering that Robo facility. If he kills that power to the Robo, there's only going to be 1 Immortal. That's probably not enough damage. I mean, there goes one of the 2 pylons. The Void Ray shows up as well. Recall on the Archon War Prism. 25 probes already down though, and puCK looks like he's in trouble here. That pylon just go down. GG, he says, and Reynor will take game number 1 of this. I believe he was a first-time finalist last time around. Ended up winning the competition. Don't quote me on that. I'm running off memory, but I feel like that was the case. Let's see if it happens again here as we jump into game number 2. So the top right-hand side, we start things off with the blue Protoss player. This, my friends, from Root Gaming, is puCK. His opponent, bottom left-hand side, the red Zerg player from XED Sports. Give it up if you're cheering on the youngster Reynor. So this was from challenge number 1 section of the TLMC. Now, there was 2 challenges set for maps in this contest, and you could submit maps under either Standard, Macro, Challenge 1, or Challenge 2. This is a map from Challenge 1, which is the idea that the main base, or the rush distance by air, is shorter than the rush distance by ground. And obviously you can see how this is done. Natural to natural is very short rush by air distance. But natural by ground is like whoop, whoop, and whoop. There you go. It takes a long time to get over here if you try and go by ground. So it's interesting. I'm actually really excited to see a longer game on this map because I really feel, again, that first series, well, the first time we saw this map today wasn't a great visualization. You know, a 12 pool against an aggressive cannon rush didn't quite work out. So I'm excited to see this setting up here from puCK, and excited to see what Reynor can do as well. I mean, just to run you through the map then, main base, pretty regular. Not really going to take this base too quickly a lot of the time, unless you break through the rocks and you move over there. You know what, you could. You fully wall off here, you work your way through the rocks, you end up expanding here. You remember King Sejong Station? People used to do that all the time, to take the third base over here rather than out over here. It might be something we see again here on Extraction if we do see a lot of games and people becoming very comfortable in how they approach it. I think that would be really cool. I think that would be pretty cool. Anyways, to again reiterate the kind of going through the map. So main and natural, we obviously talked about how close they are by ground and air. Come out towards this base, it's still a pretty easily defendable base here. I wonder if this base is good to take, by the way, because it's just close by ground then. That's so interesting, actually. Wow, I love this. Because if you take this base, like, for example, as a Terran or Protoss, you push the Zerg third base, you're going to hit quick, bro. Like, that's going to be crazy. I mean, for a Terran player, that's fantastic. Especially considering a Zerg might take their 4th up here as well. Ooh, wow. That's crazy. I like this, because this is real close by ground. Like, barely more than 2 screens. Ah, yeah. Oh. Oh, I like this map already a lot. It's interesting. It makes you think before the games even begin about what could happen here and the possibilities and how do you expand and how do you take advantage of your opponent's expansions. Oh, I'm real interested in this one. Extraction looks fun. Again, we didn't get to see a great game on it earlier. Later in the game, these middle sections get taken down, opens up more pathways, but it also just in general opens up more direct attack paths. Oracle is starting up here right now on the Stargate, a pretty regular opening so far from puCK's point of view. From Reynor, I mean, obviously his third hatch is down, his link speed's coming up. Zerg builds don't generally get interesting for the next minute or two. You know, fast lair starts to dictate what we might see, maybe a Roadrunner, a Baneling Nest, to start to see exactly what the idea is in terms of defending. Until then, it's pretty generic in terms of just setting up in towards link speed and all the rest of it. You hate the map because there's a breakable rock in the natural. I mean, that's a way to look at it as well. People hate this natural breakable rock sometimes. I like it, though. It reminds me of King Sejong, and to be fair, you know, King Sejong was so fun. King Sejong was great. But I like this. Like, it's the idea of the main natural third being so similar to Sejong, but hey, the rest of the map is so different, because King Sejong was very long, you know, base to base this direction in the end. Well, not as long as this. This is a lot shorter. It's like sort of like elongated in the other way. Like on King Sejong, this would have been natural 1, this would have been natural 2, and this would have been the main. And that's way further apart than the way it is now. Yeah, this is interesting. Phoenix is going to pick away at this Overlord here, so we're going to be able to take this down. Nicely done. Well, Prism is going to finish in a moment or two. Some extra gateways dropping down as well, as a Templar Archives now starting up from puCK in the main base. So Templar Archives coming into play, an Evolution Chamber in the main base also, as we have got a lair coming through on the main also as well. A couple of Adepts and an Oracle. Just pushing back some Zerglings, as we'll see a Pylon, probably a Nexus here soon. puCK will just expand over here. I think as a Protoss nowadays in the current meta, with so many aggressive pushes from the Zerg, such as Fastling Hydra attacks, such as Roach attacks, I think you have to be very careful about not being overly aggressive in your base positioning. You know, I think taking this base here is actually a bit of a kind of a bit of a risk for Protoss, but if for a Terran player, oh, it could get real intriguing, couldn't it? Anyways, we do see the +1 missile attack on the way up now from Reynor, as we do see 2 Archons going to drop down. Great play with the Phoenix, lifting up that Queen. That's a free picking right there. Gets a Queen kill, and we will see these couple of Hydras continue to take some damage. So Hydras will fall. And you see a couple of Archons lifting up, and Lings still moving around as well. Now these Archons are dropping back down, and we see the Queens continue to take just a few hits at the moment. More Prism backing away, just saves that Archon, but still low. Prism has to be careful, but has a lot of space to work with off to the right-hand side. Okay, nicely done so far. Charge starting up right now. Obviously a very typical follow-up as well, because at this stage, you want that charge upgrade, you want to get the Archons out, you want to be able to set up and go from this point onwards, and to see what is going to happen as we do see this War Prism of puCK. Moving around a little bit, some Zerglings are setting up here as well from Reynor. Charge upgrade starting. Well, these Zerglings running on in. I'm going to get pushed away pretty quickly, though, as a few drones going down on the other side. I like the idea of the Stasis Ward here. The Archon drops come in. It's a nice try from puCK, but Reynor's a little bit too good at the multitasking. Is not going to just not pay attention to a mineral line on the minimap, and he gets out of there without taking too much damage from the Stasis Ward, which is fantastic. Again, Side Storm on the way up here. Oracle does get pushed away by the Spore Crawler, which comes in position. puCK did leave that just in location for a bit too long. No real reason for it to take more damage than it did there. Now, +1 missiles finishing up. 60 drones from Reynor, making Ling Hydra. As Hydra's speed finishes before Groove Spine, it does suggest more aggression rather than defense with these Hydralisks. So, definitely looking towards what this could be in the next few moments. Lings and Hydras will start to head up the top side. Reynor will make his way through some of these rocks in the middle. A lot of help from these rocks, but he'll be able to make his way through this. Again, oh wow, what was that? Is this just a Phoenix? Just a Phoenix. Wow, look at how much puCK killed this game. He's only just now lost his first unit. Didn't even realize he hadn't lost anything. You just sort of assume something's been lost, right? Well, this said, there is a Warp Prism warping in, and a couple of Archons and Zealots going to charge forwards. Queen pulling back, and we will see drones having to pull away too. Reynor has to respond by pulling half of his army away here, so great attack by puCK, starting to really deal some damage. Queen in some trouble too, trying to pull away. Gets behind this mineral line here, and we will have these Hydras continuing to push their way through the War Prism. Another couple of kills coming through at the moment as we do see Hydras making their way up in towards this mineral line, and we see a pylon going down, a recall coming in. Reynor will now back away, but well, he's opened up a pathway into the natural. He got some worker kills in return for the damage dealt by puCK. puCK's Prism's still alive. Now Reynor has more units though, and now he starts to spread up in different directions. He needs to send a ling or two forwards on their own to try and distract from the stasis wards. Minimize what they can grab here. Doesn't commit in just yet though. Archons are back in the natural expansion, and we see a Queen already going down. Ling is trying to jump on top of this. He'll get an Archon. No, he won't. puCK's pickup is a hot pickup at the very last moment of play. Again, most of the army of puCK up here, reliant heavily, I think, on stasis wards to defend on this low ground. He also has Storm ready. puCK's playing a great game of PvZ at the moment, I have to say. What a Storm on top of the Hydras to start things off as well. More Storms available. Gateways will start to take some damage. Hydras here kind of on their own. This army is still positioned here too, ready to defend. puCK with a good split against this for the moment. Another Storm comes down. This one, Reynor dodges out of quite nicely. Unfortunately, runs back into it. We'll get the other gateway though, making progress. Oh no, puCK's on move command on the low ground. Oh, he gets the Storm though, he responds in time. It's just not quite enough units there from Reynor to really take advantage of that. He is pushing his way through this though. Over here, there's only 1 or 2 Storms left. Are they ready? He's missing 1 or 2 energy. They're coming in now with that energy. Storm's dropping, but maybe a bit late. Still a lot of Hydras here. Pulls away from another Storm. Extra Zealots warp in, and Archon goes down. The other Archon morphed in. Will go down too. In the end, Reynor kills a lot, but has to pull away, and puCK is looking great at the moment in game number 2. Remember, Reynor already picked up the first game of this. And this map's delivering so far. Fun action to the left and the right. We see some Zerglings diving on in. Unfortunately, they do get taken down. Spire will drop from Reynor in the main base. And yeah, just going to be seeing a counterattack now from puCK. I think he knows he's put himself in a good spot here. And well, if he takes a map off Reynor and Harston didn't, I'm not sure where exactly the scores lie. Because puCK went 1-1 against True, so did Harston. puCK would be ahead of Harston in a in that sort of regard. In terms of, I think puCK would be ahead of Harston on map score after this. If he wins right now, which he should. Pushing forwards. Another Storm comes down. Reynor about to lose another map. And this will hurt for him, as he did lose already 2-0 to True earlier today. This entire group is becoming a bit of a mess of map scores. Gonna have to really take a moment or two after this match to just see where we're at going into the last couple of matches of the day. Again, Reynor versus Goblin coming up next, followed by puCK versus Goblin as well. A few Mutalisks coming on up right now. And by the way, big kind of difference between finishing first and second in your group. First place goes straight to the quarterfinals, whereas second goes to the round of 12 alongside third place in the group. So, big difference, an entire round of difference. I mean, Reynor's trying to set up something here to try and survive, but it's just not going to happen. His attempt to be aggressive in this entire game was just shut down by puCK. puCK with some great counterattacks that Reynor wasn't ready for multiple times over. And as puCK pushes in, Reynor is going to lose the second map of this 2-map series. GG's. 1-1 is the final score between puCK and Reynor.